What's up, guys? We're here with Living the Lines at 5 Media Studios. We're talking with local artist here today, Dustin Spears. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me.
We got acquainted. The first time I met you was over at the Palace when you done your album release for Intoxicated Love.
Oh yeah,
What? How's that been going for you?
man, it's been going great. I've been getting a lot of feedback from the fans. Yeah, they've getting a lot of streams here. And
It hadn't been out too long.
Not at all. So,
Kind of give me an overview, man, of like what got you into music.
oh man, I was born into it back when I was a kid. My dad is a guitar player, uncle was a drummer, and so it was kind of around me. So
Right,
yeah, I didn't have a choice.
right.
But yeah, I started playing.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Branchford, Tennessee, between Bethpage and Westmoreland.
So you're kind of middle Tennessee, man.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
born and bred.
Right in the middle.
Usually everybody from around here is from somewhere else.
Oh, yeah.
But you're from here.
They'll say Nashville, but I don't like going to Nashville too much, so I just say
Right.
outskirts. So, yeah.
I assume guitar was like your primary instrument.
No. I think I picked up a guitar when I was like 7 or 8 because Dad played.
Right.
But it was, I couldn't get my fingers right on it.
Yeah.
So my uncle would gig with my dad, but he'd leave his drums over his house, and they were in these shells. And I knew that there was drums in those shells, but I never would take them out. So I would just take the sticks he'd leave, and I would beat on the drum shell cases.
Right.
There back in the day, there were hard shells that made noise, and then started beating on dryers and washers. And then one day I asked my dad, I said, Dad, I want a drum set for Christmas. And then I was like eight or nine. And I got a drum set, it was like a Maxwell, some old school, 8-inch kick drum. It was a weird little child set, but I played those for a long time, man. So from 8 till 18, I drummed.
Oh, you was a drummer?
I drummed in all kind of bands. Yeah,
Really?
man. Oh, yeah.
Like, what was y'all playing?
Rock and heavier, more like the band name was Pie, Praise Ye Everyone, which that's how we had to say it was because it meant something totally. Pie meant something totally different.
Right.
Somehow we started doing a lot of church gigs, so we were like Praise Ye Everyone.
Right.
That was not what it was about. Let y'all do two. All y'all fellas will do 2 and 2 together. You know what pie means.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we become 31E, like the street. Believe it or not, with 31E for a little while. Then when I was 18,
You was drumming with them?
I drummed with 31E.
Y'all was playing like what
we were
kind
playing
of covers?
anything in Nashville. Opened up for a band called Hip Kitty. Y'all remember Hip Kitty?
Y'all were doing covers or originals?
Originals.
Yeah.
We did originals and a bunch of covers. Well, like everybody else, we started out in a bass or a bonus room of the guitar player's house.
Yeah.
So I was 8th grade. I started with them. And I was in 9th grade when we got hot and heavy on the music scene where we were getting big gigs. We got an album done. Had someone pay for it, like big time album at Red Alerts in Gallatin, legit studio, and we did a 4-song EP. Opened up for some bands. Like I was playing, I think used to be called, it's like the Blue Room, or it was called Blue Sky Court. I can't think what it is in Nashville, but Rutledge.
Okay.
Yeah, Rutledge, I think it's called, and we were playing those places when I was 16. Wasn't even allowed to be in there. So I was drumming hard till I was 18, and then I'd always help the singer write songs because I also, at the age of 8, picked up piano. So piano and drums were my main instrument until I was 15. So I'd help the singer write music.
Right.
I wasn't really good with words, but I wrote music because I played piano, and I would help him kind of.
So he was writing the words. And
he was his name was Kyle, man. He was Kyle Blankenship.
Yeah.
Very good lyricist.
Y'all had like a Elton and Bernie thing going on.
We did.
Huh?
Kyle's a really good lyricist. He's still playing. I don't know what they got. I think it's called Flip the Mule.
Right.
He'll probably love me for giving him a shot. I saw him the
for
other day.
sure, man.
Flip
Y'all
the
check
Mule.
them out, man.
And but they were a bunch of other bands once I quit the band.
Right.
I called when I was 18 and said, man, I got to call in to sing songs. I just got tired of being behind the drums. And at 15, I was watching Kyle and watching Tyler. They're playing guitar. I'm like, I want to do that.
So you kind of had...
I had visions of being up there, instead of sitting down.
You got a back row seat, and eventually you got 18. You're like, let me just kind of step up
it's when I say it's crazy because like I drummed, And I think they say I was good. I don't think I was really that good. They said back then I was great, and I was making
Well,
mistakes.
you play a mean banjo. I've heard that myself.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know why. I don't know why I learned. I don't know why I wanted to learn, but in Brantford, I feel like it's a instrument you need to play in Brantford or Bethpage.
So he was writing the lyrics, and
Yeah.
you were writing music. When
Writing
did you
music.
start writing lyrics?
Writing lyrics when I was probably 15 or 16. I picked up the guitar and learned bar chords.
When you were 15?
They saved my life because G was too hard and C was hard. But when I learned bar chords and my fingers grew, I started picking it up. And I
Was the
started.
guitar just around, or did
Yeah.
somebody give you a guitar?
I had a cheap little red one. I think it was like a little tiny red Ibanez. It was
Right.
horrible. It didn't stay in key at all. But then I bought a Memphis from Case Guitar in Gallatin, Tennessee. My first Memphis Les Paul copy. Bought it on payments. I think $20 a week until I paid like a $150 or $200 guitar off. Because my dad's like, "You're gonna buy something, you have to buy it yourself." So we bought a guitar, yeah, and just started playing. And I wasn't really good, but I got like one of them old Tascam
What were you
4-track.
listening to and trying to learn?
Creed and Three Doors Down was my big
Right.
influence at that time.
Okay.
That was when Creed and Three Doors Down was big. When I was 18.
Right in your high
Oh,
school
dude,
days,
man.
Creed, yeah.
I remember one time the song "Here Without You, Baby"
Mm-hmm.
by Three Doors Down, and in Creed's "One Last Breath" is what made me want to write those kind of songs.
Really?
Those songs are just like they'll stick in your head, you
Yeah.
know.
I could totally feel that.
So yeah. Then I was, started writing. There weren't good songs at all
Well, I mean,
until I got I think my first decent song was when I was 22, 21.
that's what I was going to ask you. When was the first time like you wrote something that actually resonated?
Crazy story, man. I worked at Sam Ash Music. I was
In Goodlettsville?
Goodlettsville. I was there. Shout out.
Gee, is it gone now?
They're gone, man. I worked
Guitar
with.
Center put them out.
I don't know the whole story. I was there from 21 to 24 or 23. I was there for a while, at least 2 or 3 years, maybe. And I worked with Don Rollins. He wrote 5 O'Clock Somewhere.
Okay.
I don't know why Don worked there, but Don worked there. Cool cat.
Yeah.
And I
insurance.
wrote a song called "You're Gonna Cry." I wrote a song in the style if a woman would write a song about a daughter. Don't know why I did it, what made me do it, and I wrote it, and I got a real professional recording paid for. My
Somebody
grandmother
done that for
my
you?
grandmother
You paid
heard
for-
me.
Okay.
She heard it. I didn't make a lot of money. I made $8 an hour there for a long
Where
time.
would you have been cutting something like that back then?
I cut it in Gallatin at a guy. I can't think of his last name.
Okay.
He
Like
had
a home deal, or was it like
home
a
deal.
standalone? Yeah.
Can't think of his name, but I know I cut it. My grandmother loved the song so much. She's like, "I really want you to." The guy told me he would record it and he would then pitch it for me. So
Right.
that was the deal. Of course, you get it cut. You give them money, they're gonna cut it for you. But
Oh yeah.
the pitch never happened. So I had this song land on me, and Don and me was talking one day. And I let this lady come in because I used to work security on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
I would work security at the front desk just for extra money.
Right.
This songwriter lady come in, real big time songwriter. And I said, "Hey, I'd like you to hear something. Would you be interested in just give me your critique?" She said, "Yeah, I will." And I mean, this girl, y'all, she ate me up, dude. Like, she was like, "Yeah, you did this. I feel like you could use stronger words here." Just tore it one end. If you heard the song, you'd probably love it. You'd be like, "Holy crap."
Yeah.
She tore it up from one end to the other. And I sit there like really down, like, man, I really thought this was a good song. And Don was there. I said, "Hey, Don, do you mind? I let somebody critique this. Do you mind doing a critique for me?" And usually those guys just got hits underneath from he had hit from Reba, Kelly Clarkson, 5 O'Clock Somewhere.
Right.
Alan Jackson, man. So these guys usually don't, but the dude was super sweet, man. Just a truly good-hearted man. He said, "I'll listen to it, give you a critique." And his critique was the total opposite. He goes, "Man, you couldn't write a better song." And I was like, that gave me enough faith right there. It was like one guy that's in the business,
Right.
So
that's huge at that stage.
Yeah, man, that's
it's
huge.
absolutely everything.
And then so that's how it started. But I didn't.
And all this was going down at Sam Ash.
Sam Ash, man, I worked there.
Like
and
guitars off the wall. You're pitching this song to the 5 O'Clock Somewhere guy.
that happened. He worked with me. and
Did you at
he
least pick a good guitar? The
Yeah,
high. You had to
Yeah.
climb the ladder to get up there. To
I
get
did,
it.
man. And it's like that was good. That was a cool job, man. I learned a lot about. I went through a lot of life that job. I was
Yeah.
still trying to figure me out. So because
You can learn a
immediately
lot
after
from
that,
something like that, and being around those people, man,
Yeah.
is huge. And getting, when you're at that age and you're in your stage of your writing process, man, like it's just you don't know what's good.
No.
You're just trying to throw stuff on the wall and see what you come up with.
yeah, it's definitely well. A lot of people went through copy and paste. They're
I
copy and
love your
paste.
hat, by the way.
Thank you. I found it on the wall over there. I don't normally wear cowboy. I don't normally wear cowboy hats, but I just felt like,
Yeah. It fits.
I just felt like I haven't rode a horse in a while, So
Yeah, you don't.
felt
In
like-
particularly, when I seen you play at the Palace, you don't like particularly large people that ride horses, do you?
no, I'm not really wild about big girls on horses.
Or
Or
fat
big guys on
guys
horses. Yeah,
on horses.
not just
Yeah,
big
that's-
one.
I noticed that.
I got chased by a big lady on a horse one time,
Yeah.
and I don't know which one was bigger, the horse or her, horse or her. But she come after me for being on the property. We were shooting some BB guns or something. She come after me, man. And when I say this is what it sounded like, she's, who's over there? And I heard and they come at me. Now, when I say, y'all listen, when I say, dude, a heart pounding, I was like, come on, Daryl, we got to go. Man, Daryl ran with her BB gun.
It's always a guy named Daryl.
She was big. Daryl was a big dude, too. But,
Was that your buddy?
yeah, buddy Daryl. We ran. We got in trouble a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, he passed away. God rest his soul.
Now
Big
you,
D.
Now you know what it was like
Yeah.
for like Jesse James when the law was closing.
Dude, yeah, it's rough times.
The hooves are pounding.
But you know, man, I went to that. Back to the right, the right was. It's copy and paste, man. Most of it went to that. That was when it was going to copy and paste. People, I learned that. I don't know. It was weird. I started doing comedy. I quit doing music. I got really. I don't know what happened to me. I just one day I said, I think I could be funny.
So you just put.
I'm not
music
really that
down?
funny. I thought I could. And then
You
I
put
started-
music down altogether.
put it down for like 4 years. It was because
You didn't
music was
play at
going through
home
bro
or
country.
anything?
Yeah, music was going through Florida Georgia line, bro country. I'm like, that's not who I am. Like, I ain't skinny and don't have a six pack and beautiful hair. Like, I don't think I could get in. I just didn't think I could get in then. So I was like, I'm gonna go tell some jokes, and I wrote funny songs. That's what
Did you go gig behind that?
yeah, I did. I went like traveled the world a few times as a comedian.
Really?
I got in with a place called Spanky's open mic night one time. Went up there and just bombed. I took my grandma, my
What
grandpa.
was this at?
He's in Nashville.
Okay.
I took my grandma. I said, hey, I'm gonna be funny tonight. Y'all come watch me. My grandpa was like, yeah, I guess. And my grandma was like, I guess. So we all went. I was like, they're like my mom and dad actually.
Right.
My grandparents like my mom and dad.
Yeah.
It's like y'all come watch me do stand up. I've never
Family
did it
stuff
before.
critics, man.
Yeah. And then I was like, I didn't know how stand up was. I'm like, I don't need no skit. I'll go up there and wing it
Yeah.
for 5 minutes. And you don't think, 5 minutes, I've learned something. 5 minutes is a long time in the bedroom and on the comedy stage.
Yeah.
5 minutes will wear you out in both
It's
ways.
a performance.
Is this going to be children friendly?
Hey, you say whatever.
5 minutes is a long time, children.
Yeah.
I've learned over of
That's
course.
a full performance.
Yeah, it's a full performance.
If somebody's not happy with 5
If
minutes,
somebody's like, you can only go 5 minutes, I'm like, you can only go away from me now. I don't want to be with you. But no, we went up there with no material and talked about my penis for 5 minutes. Like any other normal comedian in front of my grandparents.
which is something you're passionate about
Yeah.
still to this day,
very
right?
passionate about talking about my penis.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I've been around you enough over
Yeah.
the past few months that you enjoy.
And I ain't bragging. It's not one you want to write. If my penis was like normally like, you say you want to compare wieners, I call it penis because that's what penis sounds bad though, doesn't it? Like if you heard somebody say, "Hey man, put your goober up," or if someone say, "Hey, put his penis up," like, ooh, don't say it like that.
Yeah.
Penis is the correct word. I don't like it. It's vulgar. But yeah, if we're talking like penises, like motorcycles, I got one you don't want to be riding out in public. I got one to be in the yard. I got one that's still working on the garage. You know what I'm saying?
It's like a moped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got one of them penises that you don't. I got one of them Craigslist dicks. You know what I'm saying? The Craigslist dick.
Well,
That's what it is, man. I can't help it.
how many songs do you think you wrote?
Over 100. Oh God, probably more than that. In my catalog now, there's over 100. About 100 something.
Right. I was noticing on your Intoxicated Love, all those are solely written by
Yeah.
you.
I've never wrote with anybody in my
You don't
life.
co-write at all.
I have with the guy from Warner Brothers years ago. A guy named his name was Gary Baker, and
Right.
I wrote with a guy. I've wrote with the band The Lax. We collaborate on 2 songs. That was a write together.
Yeah.
With that though, how that went was I had wrote the chorus in my verse, and then showed those guys, and they did their. I didn't help them write their verse.
Right.
It works totally different in that genre. I've learned they do their verse and everybody does their part.
It's more like a feature.
Yeah, it's feature.
Yeah.
So technically, kind of wrote well. I love country songs. Me and Brian and Clay and everybody at one point kind of all took turns writing the bridge part.
Right.
I had half of it written, and I couldn't rhyme with songs anymore because you can't say nothing else. But songs is very like, what we're going for. Songs was kind of a hard word to rhyme,
Hmm.
so we put uh, we had a uh, few take turns of what we're gonna say, and finally Brian like come up with it
Right.
the last line. So I mean, we kind of co-wrote that part,
Yeah.
and but yeah, I've never really sat down in a room. It's been my goal.
Right. Yeah,
No.
that's kind of the Nashville
Yeah,
game,
the Nashville thing I hear is I hear that it intimidates me because I hear other people that's, yeah, man, you think you're a good writer until you walk into the room. It's like, oh God, it does sound scary.
Yeah, I've
So,
heard people talk about when they audition for publishing deals
yeah,
and stuff.
yeah,
They'll ask them, be like, "Well, how many songs you wrote?" And they're like,
yeah,
"Well, I've wrote 100." And they'll listen and they'll be like, "Well, go home and
yeah.
write 100 more, and then come back."
Right, I've heard that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be tough, if you're coming. If
Hmm.
it helps, like for someone like me and you, like growing up here, like you're exposed to it
Yeah.
very early on. If you're from somewhere like nowhere Kansas or
Hmm.
something, like the talent pool's so low, you have an
Yeah.
unfair expectation of what you might be. But when you're working at Guitar Center with dudes that wrote 5 o'clock somewhere, you're
Hmm.
humbled and you know where you stand pretty quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. That dude's and it's like practice. I mean, my first songs weren't the greatest. Now I wrote, but the thing is about those 100 songs, man. This is gonna blow your mind. I wrote those 100 songs within the last 6 years.
Right.
Like it's not been. I was very. I started writing. I didn't start doing. So I got sidetracked on penis talk, but
Like,
I did go up there and blow comedy. It was terrible. And then I learned that if I brought my guitar, wrote a funny song, and then talk about the funny song, the next time I went up there, I literally won first place at competition. My
yeah.
first every time. You know how musicians are trying to play the Grand Ole Opry?
Hmm.
Well, for comedians, it's zanies.
Yeah.
Literally within 2 months of me doing comedy, I bypassed everybody trying to be in zanies by getting asked by just. I got lucky. I met the right. When I say the right people, I met people that said, "You're really good. I'm gonna put you on the show because you're actually funny."
Right.
I was like, "Well, man, there's a million." I'm thinking to myself, "How does this happen?" I didn't want to be a comedian. I'm gonna go do that one day. With music, it's been the total complete opposite for me.
Yeah.
Because when I started back and gave comedy up, I went through a breakup. I had a girl break my heart so bad, left me naked on the front porch with the sun coming up, drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels,
They'll do
crying.
that to you.
I ain't cried many times. I cried in a voicemail.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I said, but I know it sounded like, ah.
Don't you
I
hope that don't
quivered.
get posted on
I
TikTok?
quivered. I quivered. I cried. She had me brokenhearted. She cheated on me with another guy, and I was
How
about
old would you been at this time?
24.
Yeah, that's a
And she
tender
said,
year.
what she said to me was, she said, if you quit doing those stupid songs and write one of these real ones you play for me, you'd probably go somewhere. And I thought, you know what I'm going to do with her? I'm going to make her hear me on the radio one day so
Right.
she can feel bad about that. And then I did. I met my brother in law, Brian, a guy named Drew Rippey, good bud, went to high school with him. He played bass.
Right.
Colin, which does a lot of the front of the house engineering for us, drummer. And I played guitar and sing.
Right.
We become Dustin Spears and Whiskey 3. And I started putting.
So you immediately left the comedy scene behind you.
Immediately left the comedy scene. I said, let's try it at 24. So 24 to I'll be 39 next week.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing and never broke out. I've been doing that long, hard. Like I've never stopped in one day in my life. One day, not one day.
Well, so where did you go with the comedy? You were going out and
Oh
singing
man, I just singing about
comedy songs
singing penis songs about terrible
for just
songs.
where at, like in bars? Or
Yeah, North Carolina clubs, comedy clubs, comedy
opening
catch.
for somebody or just headlining? Or
Don't tell me how. Don't know why, but I'm like on big shows, people paying high dollar for, and I'm up there just singing about my wiener.
what was the traveling arrangements like?
I got in a Jeep, just drove,
you by yourself.
my guitar, man, scared to
You
death.
just renting hotel rooms and just living
Sometimes
out of
I
your
rent,
Jeep?
yeah. If Chattanooga, I'd come on home. It's like 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I went to North Carolina, like it's 11 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Wilmington Beach, and it's so plastic. But like I went to Wilmington Beach. Now I'm funny. Don't get me wrong. I learned how. I actually
man.
learned how to be. Yes, I learned by watching my favorite comedians, watching the guys I'd open up for. I learned now I could probably messed up part. I could probably go kill it now. I've lived because you got to live life.
So you were opening up for other acts.
Comedy's better when it's real life, when people have also witness what you witness.
Right.
Like explosive diarrhea and stuff they can understand.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta, yeah. IBS is it should be an AA class. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I know how to be funny now. I don't want to be. I have to, because now here's what we're gonna get, Alan. Now I fuck myself because I showed a few people the song called Titty Tattoos, which is one of my bigger songs. It was a comedy song. And that took me 5 months to write it.
So you wrote that during those days.
Wrote it years when I was 23, I wrote that one. And now I just cut it last year, 2 years ago. And it's a damn good song.
Hard to keep a good song down. They're gonna poke their
find
head up eventually.
Yeah.
One way or another.
But here's where the problem lies. When you come to my live show, I'm very normal. Let's say you go to my acoustic shows. I do joke around me. You ever been to
No,
a
yeah,
Brian
you're
show?
a professional musician and you do professional
But I have a personality that's what sets my live show apart.
Right.
Like Luke Bryan, he's funnier than hell. You watch this, and like it works for them guys, but for some reason, and I don't know what the hell it is, but it seems I don't know what it is, but like people want to now go, God, you should be a comedian.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well,
well,
I did that.
I did not really. I think
Well, it's just because more people are getting turned on to you now.
they are. And it's just like they don't know that it's just
They don't know the backstory, and that's kind of
then
why
they get
we're
pissed
doing
off.
this.
And when you come to a band show, you're like, damn, that wasn't funny at all. The band show at Palace is not a comedy show.
Right.
It's the total opposite. So it's like, but unfortunately with my career, my career is not, I'm not going to say my career is laying in a coffin right now, but my career has not sprouted out to be able to get out of my.
You're just a grinding musician.
I'm still an
man.
acoustic show, man. We're still acoustic.
Well, you have
So
a band.
unfortunately, they're not getting a professional show worldwide.
Yeah.
But you went at the Palace show. It was pretty powerful, right?
Yeah.
And no one really has got to witness that. That's what I've, personally, I really can't wait to hear a few months or a year or so when we can get the band out. That's
How did you put this band together?
man, Sam Ash.
Right.
Met a drummer there. I still shop to Sam Ash religiously. Met my drummer there.
That's the one you're playing with now.
He knew the guitar player the bass player. Brian's been playing me all.
Yeah, we got your brother-in-law Brian here. He plays keys for you.
anything, keys, video.
Does
recording.
video, does all your media stuff, and your just any jack of all trades.
Jacking off all the trade. Or jack off all.
You need people on your team,
Yeah.
man.
Jacking-
It takes a village.
He's jacking over there, man.
Right.
It does. You could have a team. So yeah, man, it's been like now for the past,
How long have you been with this band?
golly, what, a year? Year now.
Yeah.
I was on the road for a year, 2023. I signed a publishing deal, a distribution deal, Dirt Rock Entertainment, or Dirt Rock Empire, so entertainment. We did the Intoxicated Love through that distribution.
Right.
I went on the road 2023 before that, a whole year.
Opening for the last.
That was, oh, dude, every night. I literally quit my damn job I was at for 8 years.
Where was you working at?
Delivering air conditioners at Team Air.
Okay.
So when I got serious, like I said, I know we've been doing all over the place, but
No, that's
so
perfect,
from
man.
24,
You're perfect.
24, it was a rough road, dude. From 24, when we got the band started, we did good. I got to a place where I couldn't get booked even in my hometown. There was bands that they had regulars at that wouldn't let other bands play, so I couldn't find gigs.
Right.
But man, I mean, from the time, I don't know how to explain, but I had played from 24 till, so I was probably 37 when I went out. So 24 to 37, I was just doing bars.
Yeah, just kicking around.
Bars.
and stuff.
I traveled during COVID, man. I was playing all over illegally. Ohio, Kentucky,
Allegedly.
anywhere I could find. Memphis. I mean,
Bro, you went to
super
Memphis?
spreading, baby. Everywhere. I've been everywhere. Then I went on tour with, the Lax. We went on tour with the Lax.
When did that start?
2023.
So you left your job, put your 2 weeks
I
notice
walked
in, or did you just...
dude, I was a fucking boss. So I'll tell you back. So I was a truck driver, and I failed my DOT because I have to have a sleep machine, and I can't wear the son of a bitch. You can't wear them. Somebody's like, "What's a sleep machine like?" I'm like, "Oh no, do me a favor, go home, turn all your fucking lights off, shut your door, lay on your back, and put your hands like this, and just do this to your face.
Yeah.
Could you sleep every night like this right here?" Yeah, that's what it's like. I said, and then go from never having to do that to having to do it to keep your job.
Yeah, my dad's diabetic, and he has to do the DOT physicals.
Dude,
And
it's
a real
terrible.
strain it's always a constant wonder about being able to get that.
Yeah. So I started, so truth all, now that I don't work here, I'll tell the whole truth. So I knew 6 months before I actually quit that I was going to be going on tour for a year. I was anticipating every day. And I'm saying I was taking shit to the face like every day. I worked at the job 8 years and it was just rough every year. The way they handled it was just rough. But I had to have a job.
Yeah.
I don't not work. So I had this job, I hated it. Finally knew I was getting out, anticipating. I'm like, dude. So when I went to get my DOT physical and they said, hey, you marked that you have sleep apnea, but we want to see a report for the next visit. So I show them a report like, we'll give you a warning, but you got to correct this. So I'm like, thanks. So I had to go back to my work. Well, hey, I got to go back another 3 months now, or no, 6 months. So I had to go back to the 6 months, and I just didn't wear the damn thing. Because in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'll fail it and just go work in the warehouse. I was going to work in the warehouse. When I failed it, they're like, well, since you can't get that, man, we may have to fire you.
Yeah.
Okay, now, granted, I got a savings account.
But the whole time you're waiting on this,
I've got 20.
you know that this tour is coming.
And I know a tour's coming. I got 20 grand I could take out in my 401k if I need to. I'm fine. Yeah. I mean, that's not balling. I drive a Toyota. I ain't got money. But I got 20 grand. Daddy knows there's 20 grand. I got
a tour coming.
And a tour coming. And I was like, finally, I made an agreement. We're going to work you in the warehouse. When I say they worked me, the first day that they knew I was going to be in the warehouse, they stepped me aside and went, we know you're going to fuck off. So the second you fuck off, like they just ate me out. The other guys don't. They said something like the other guys don't like you because you're always in a good mood. I'm like, excuse me? So I got a lot of harassment. And the next day I went home, I thought about it and said, dude, you got 3 months as tour stars. You got $20,000. Well, I had $20,000 saved up. I'm like, I woke up next morning. And I remember there's a feeling. And I woke up next morning and I said, man, I ain't going in there. Yeah. I ain't going today. I think I'm just going to, matter of fact, I think I'm going to walk in with my shirts and just cause hell. Cause the damn seed. Yeah. So I did. It was raining that day too. I'll never forget the sound of raindrops because it was the greatest day of my life. And I drove in that parking lot, dude, on 2 wheels, dude. I'm pretty sure I was drinking the night before heavy. Yeah. So I was probably still drunk. I come in that motherfucker on 2 wheels. Like I would run right through the window, you know. And I went there and I grabbed them shirts and I walked up there and it was like God done told him. The Lord done told him. He said, I walked in there and that girl said, you done? I said, in my mind, you know what I was wanting? In my mind, I done built up a fuck you, I like you, fuck you. Yeah. But in my mind, when I got in there, he's like, God done peacefully said, you ain't going to jail today. Right. The girl said, you done? I said, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. And I walked out, buddy, and I just got my car, and I remember going to Sonic, cranking out a few cheeseburgers, because I'm all about my figure. Right. So I got a few cheeseburgers in me, and thought, fuck today. I went downtown Nashville, and I got to drinking all day. Yeah. And I partied my ass off for that next week. And then I was like, well, I'm off. My money's coming in next week. I got a little bit of my check. What I'm going to do is start finding gigs, man. Right. So I started finding gigs. In 3 months, I booked myself 2 months up all over the world. And when I tell y'all, this is the craziest part about life, is I'd worked since I was 7. I mean, I've worked since I was 16, but I've always had a shit job, barely got by, and every day, like, you remember me in school on Sunday going, damn, I can't even enjoy Sunday because I got to go up Monday to school. Yeah. You think when I get out of school, fuck, it's going to be awesome. It's the same shit.
I think that's why Chris Christopherson wrote Sunday Morning Coming Down. Like, it captures that perfectly.
And when I got him, when I came down, when I quit, dude, that next day, it was raining. And I was the happiest son of a bitch because I didn't have to go back next day. I started booking, and for the first time, I said, man, I'm living. Yeah. I woke up, I'm like, fuck, I'm breathing. I didn't need a sleep machine anymore, man. I was like, fuck, I didn't even have sleep apnea. I was just down. I hated that life. And when I got to do the tour for a year, when they say, man, touring's on everything, oh, it's every fucking thing. Yeah. It's everything you could imagine, dude, and more.
It's always been what's inspired me most. Dude. I love the music and the art, but I love the traveling, too.
Dude, it's beautiful. Oregon, I got
was like
Oregon.
your first bus call?
My bus call was, dude, it was scary as fuck. I've never been on a bus. Mm-hmm. I've never even been on a bus in my entire life. Didn't know how to even work doors. Yeah. So they said, we're going to meet us at a pilot in White House, right here. Okay. White House, Tennessee. Okay. Got on there, man, and got on the bus, and everybody was Loves. Yeah. 5:30 in the morning, we got on there. We had to be in Michigan the first night.
Who would this been on the bus?
It was a bus driver. It was the only one awake. And then tour manager was messaging me back and forth, going, hey, man, when you get here, the bus will be here 5:30.
But he wasn't on it?
He was asleep.
Okay.
And then I got on there, and I just
got from the
lags? I sat on the couch, and the dude started moving. And then about that time...
did you have your guitar and your bag?
I have a guitar. You put everything under a bay.
Yeah.
And everything... like guitar and anything extra goes in the bay. Your one bag goes in your bunk with you. Usually,
I just didn't know what you showed up with.
Yeah, So I got to going straight from everything you've ever wanted to do was about to happen, and it was a good feeling, but scary, because I knew for the next year this was life, everything I wanted it to be. And then like you go to that, and then I got in the bunk, laid the bunk, and then I was like, well, that's crazy. I fell asleep a
You're
little
on the
bit.
bunk in the middle or on the
I
bottom?
was on
or
the
top?
bottom,
Yeah.
very, very bottom, and I love that because you roll right in that bitch and roll right out of that bitch.
Yeah.
I'm fat, so the top one's a nightmare, dude.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare. But yes, I mean, I roll on the bottom.
Where was y'all headed when you left White
Grand
House?
Rapids, Michigan, was my
So
first.
that was your first shot.
My first show, man. It was crazy. It was like Grand Rapids. It was a mini arena, like a mini like a venue, like wasn't quite a smart, a little bit smaller than the theater. I mean, it was cool. It was like a bowl, like a bowl. And then this venue had backstages, showers, everything, dude. Like you roll up. It's one arena, like a venue with 4 different venues in it. It was crazy.
Right. So you went directly
Yeah.
from playing just dive bars, acoustic
Yeah.
shows and stuff
To-
stepping on the bus,
On the
off
bus.
the bus.
And in a day, I was on a bus and we drove for a day, and we parked. I think we parked in Indiana. No, we parked in Kentucky. We got into Kentucky, and he had to rest. The bus driver had to stop for a while.
Yeah.
We stayed there, hung out, and
Were you like, well, if I'd passed my DOT physical, I could just drive us home?
I could probably do it. So we got to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they start just loading out. And my job was I had also my merch. So I had to I've never sold merch. No one ever told me anything, how to do anything.
Right.
All I knew is I got merch under the bus that I'd ordered before. Spent about $5,000 on merch.
Out of your 401k?
When I quit my job, I bought a brand new Taylor when I used.
Brian says yes. Brian says yes. You bought merch out of your 401k?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah. I bought merch, a guitar, a nice PA system because when I come off tour, I knew I want to be able to have a nice PA to still play my
What kind
shows.
of guitar do you buy?
Taylor.
Okay.
I got 214.
Yeah. From Sam Ash?
Yes, I did.
Did you get a employee
$2,000.
discount?
No, I didn't quit there. But yeah, man, I went first gig. I walked out with like 500-600 people, and they ain't happened for
Playing acoustic?
just a damn
Opening
acoustic, nervous as a wreck.
How long was your
30.
time? 30 minutes?
And I'd rehearse, and and really, what I learned is you don't really know. I've learned something. I always wanted to plan it. You keep playing shit out. You just got to know what your set list you want to kind of go by, and you do it. I had like 6 songs, 7 songs every night, and it took me 2 or 3 shows. First week was a fucking nightmare. Just an understanding and getting the feel of
just getting the routine.
you don't know how they don't know you.
Yeah.
They kind of knew you're on the bill. They don't know who you are. And like I said, we did Grand Rapids and Flint the next night. 2 nights in Flint, 1 night in Grand Rapids, and then went to I can't think where we went to next. It was a bunch.
Yeah.
But it was yeah, man, it was just like stepping out, something you've always wanted to do. It was the best feeling in the world, man. And it's
what were like some of the challenges? Was the sound good, or had you ever played those sides? I mean, it would be an adjustment, playing dive bars to go into
no, man, with acoustic only, it's the easiest in the world.
Yeah.
The sound guys loved me. I said, I'm not picky. Just like, yeah, man, make sure it's good. But yeah, the sound was, especially Flint, was the best sound.
And like those bigger crowds, would that intimidate you, or did you need that to help you do better? Because it does
help. It definitely helps. Man, it's hard to explain it. It helps because they are wild. The front row is wild, and it takes a long time to understand the front row rule.
Right.
As you think the front row's enjoying you, the front row's trying to be seen. They're wanting attention, and so you're And one thing that I always took advice, Clay had told me from the Lags. He's a really smart dude, man. He said, every night I want you singing to these people right here in the very, very middle and back. The people in the back's the ones watching you. They're here to see what you sound like. Right. They're not trying to be singing, act drunk. They're here to hear you. So I always play to everybody, and that's what I think. I've heard a lot of guys say that. Play to everybody in the back. Yeah. So what I had to learn to do was, the thing it took me a while to adjust to was remembering every night, go, guys, remember I got merch. My name is Dustin Spears 100 times. After every 2 songs, guys, thank you again. My name is Dustin Spears. If you've not checked me out, be sure it's those things. Right. You will forget because you're so nervous. You're looking at 1,000 people to 700-800 people every night.
Are you was nerves a part of it, or do you kind of?
Yeah, you get caught up in it, and you just if you're every show's different. So I had a lot of tits flying out.
Yeah.
I've
Because
never
you were
been.
singing titty tattoo.
Yeah, and I'd never seen as many titties in my life before.
Yeah.
It didn't make me nervous. I mean, I've seen titties before. Um, it kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
You know, because
Throw you out of rhythm.
there's a lot. You wouldn't think it would. You know,
It just gets discombobulated.
yeah, you just get
There's
kaboobilated.
just something about it. It's like driving under the influence.
I don't like it. I need him to calm down. I had a guy tell me to pull my wiener out one time. That was the weirdest thing ever happened on stage. He said he just kept screaming, "Pull your wiener out," and I'm like, "Why?" Like I've had all kind of stuff, man. I've seen fights. I've seen fights when they announced my show in Winchester, Virginia, and as soon as they announced my name, I walked out and this chick just starts whipping ass on the front row.
Yeah.
She starts
To another girl.
Wow, I dude and a girl. She's whipping ass, dude.
Girl fights are always.
She's
hard.
hit a dude. It always starts with pushing. And when I seen her, and she had a thong, I think I was talking about in the podcast, had a thong like a rope back there. The biggest, like, oh, it was so thick. I can tell you right now, her ass cheeks were having separation anxiety because it was that thick, man.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous. It's like, and it's always one you don't want to see. Let's be honest. Yeah. No.
Was it all kind of positive, or did you have any like nightmare gigs?
Oh yeah.
Nightmare nights.
I had one. I had it was 50-50. I won't say it was it wasn't 60-40, it wasn't 70-30, it was 50 damn 50.
Yeah.
Because
which is still a success.
It's a success. You're going to hear a lot of chatter. When you're the first act, you're not even the damn support. When you don't have a band behind me, the band is powerful. People shut up and they listen. Yeah. When it's just acoustic and you're just the opener.
People are still filling in. They haven't got to their seats a lot of times.
It sucks. Right? Yeah, it sucks. A lot of times, that happened. I played a Thursday night in Pensacola, Florida, and when I went on stage, this bitch was jam-packed before I got on there. Yeah. Guitar was in tune perfect backstage. I got my in-ears in. I'm like, all right. They're like, all right, Dustin, walk on up. They tell you, go ahead and walk on up. 10 minutes. They'll give you a light. So I'm walking up. I'm like, hey, y'all doing? They're fucking... they're jiggling. They're jiggling. Yeah. They're just jigging, dude. And it's Florida. Yeah. It's just like
hot and humid.
Hot, humid, and just jiggly.
Yeah.
Everybody's just tittified. Yeah. Everybody's just like, it was just tits, man. Yeah. Everybody. Dudes had their tits out. It was bikinis, and people just partied. It was a Thursday night, and it was crammed. So I'm like, it's great. First note, whole guitar goes out of fucking tune. I cannot fix it. But they don't give two fucks. They're just going, woo! I'm like, sorry, guys. One girl said, fuck it, keep going. Like, she didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So, like, she didn't care if I had a banjo.
Those are your people, man.
Just having a good time. They're just glad to be alive, baby. Yeah. Shit, these bitches are glad to be breathing, dude.
Right.
So, like, titties out, we're partying. And then we play a Friday night in, like, Birmingham, Alabama. But don't go there, by the way. That's really scary. We play, like, I think, Birmingham. I'm thinking, dude.
I know some folks from Birmingham.
It's like, it's Friday night, bitch. It was packed in Florida. You know it's going to be packed on a motherfucking Friday.
Right.
No. I get on stage. It's the nicest, hugest fucking room. Theater, huge. It's 6:55. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get my stand spot. Got my in-ears in. Go ahead and rock this big crowded bar. I walk out. I swear to God. Nobody.
Nothing.
They're still getting patted down because we're in motherfucking Birmingham, dude. Yeah. Fucking Birmingham, baby.
It's a ghetto.
It's rough. The same night a fight broke out.
Iron City or something. God. And it's been rough like that. Like I've listened to bands like the Allman Brothers. They wouldn't even tour in Birmingham.
It's bad.
The 60s.
Well, they had when you got a club, and a lot of people wand your ass down. Yeah. You know, but like it don't take you 10 minutes on a purse. Like, you sure? Yeah. Like, dude, and sure enough, fight broke out during a meet and greet.
Right.
Swear to God, the big old dude drunk. So, it was those moments when I'm like, you think it's going to be awesome. Or it's like you think a crowd's going to, you look at them and go, oh, God, that guy's got no fucking teeth. He's going to love this song. Yeah. He's going to love no get no teeth. But fucking, like, and sure enough, he didn't like titty tattoo. He's like, what is this guy doing? They'll look at you like, sometimes I didn't like that one.
Right.
It's like,
what's he doing? Please everybody.
I heard a guy when I'm going, what the fuck's going on? I heard a guy.
After writing as many songs as you've written, like, what is kind of, you've got to have a process, right?
Yeah, I do. I write in the car with no music at all. I
Just
hear the
lyrics?
notes in my head.
Yeah.
I hear it. I write
Talk it into a voice record. Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes I don't know. It's just
Do you
I've never written
specifically go
anything.
on drives to write songs, or you just kind of in your daily routine?
My
You just
girlfriend
kind of
lives 4 hours away,
okay.
so when I go to her house, it's like the only time.
So
Because a lot of
uh,
times I just
you've
listen
been
to
getting
music.
anything good on those miles? It's a long
Yeah.
stretch up
Oh
through
God,
there. Ain't it?
I wrote. She's already the one I'm just got to recording in BMG.
Right.
I've wrote Titty Ted done it right there. I wrote We About to F in the truck.
How
I've
much do
wrote.
you want to talk about what we've been kind of experiencing over the past few months doing the whole thing, the new stuff that you're recording?
Oh yeah, I love that. BMG's awesome. Working with Jeff Huskins.
Okay. I didn't know how much you wanted to
Oh, I can
let the
talk about
cat
it.
out of the bag or what you got
No, I'm
planned
just. I've
coming
been
up.
working with. I've been doing what they call the Nashville traditional way they used to do
Right.
records.
Yeah, you're currently in pursuit of a major label record deal.
Ah,
Is that kind of shooting for the stars?
I don't know. I mean, I've never been asked that question. Damn, I've worked with independent labels. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if my theory is I don't know if I'd ever have a shot at a major record label because I'm kind of not like everybody else. I don't know.
But you've been working on a project.
I have, and I don't know if anybody. I mean, I've never been hit up by a major label, but I mean, if they ever
But
come out of the woodwork, would
you're
I
working
go?
on a project with a goal in mind.
Oh yeah, I
You're
would
hope
like.
yeah.
I want this songs to do better than Intoxicated Love.
Right, okay.
So I got better players. I got just a different. It's a different sound. This
Yeah.
record from my last. This sound is going to be. I would call it authentic.
Mm-hmm.
They're not using tuning. They're not using fake drums. It's everything that they did is real, and players that played on everybody's tracks.
Yeah, you've been working with Jeff Huskins as a
Yeah,
producer,
everybody that's been on anybody's tracks
cutting
from the
songs at
90s.
Soundstage.
Yeah, yeah,
With
yeah.
the
So
top Nashville session players,
dude,
guys. Soundstage has had 500.
we can go in there in
#1.
2 hours and cut 5, 6 songs, man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, and it's like
Okay.
it's a different world, man.
Right.
It's when you do music and have one other guy work with you, and like I had last album, one guy did everything, and he's talented as shit.
Right.
Josh Bright did everything. I'm talking about guitar, drums, bass, steel, everything. On the whole Intoxicated album, all I did was vocals. And a guy named Wes now, he did Beer Joints and Bibles. He played everything on that. So I had one song was not recorded in the same studio. A lot of people don't know that Josh Bright did 5 of the 6, and then Wes Now did Beer Joints and Bibles. But I did vocals at my house and at 2 other studios. So vocals were mixed.
Right.
Some were done at my house, some were done in Josh Bright, one of them was done in Georgia.
And that's all on Intoxicated Love.
Yeah. So Intoxicated Love
Do
is
you-
one guy basically giving his idea to what that song should sound like.
Right.
With the new project I've got, it's 7 guys all putting what they want to do to it. So it just gives something.
Yeah.
It just gives what music used to sound like. My record that's going to the 7 songs are. It's not
Do
going
you
to
have
sound.
any projected idea of when folks could expect something like
Oh
that?
God, no! I don't know yet. I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
I've been working today with just some video here for Intoxicated Love live versions of all the songs because I figured the fans want to hear what it sounds like live. They're a different flavor live, my songs. So, but no, I don't have any idea. We've been working. They're still mixing stuff, and it could be.
Yeah.
I would like to come out summertime, but I don't know. It may not be summertime. We
Yeah,
don't know.
probably be longer
As far as
after that.
major label, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be opposed to it if they actually wanted to. I guess at the end of the day, is it going to be a good deal for you?
Right.
You know, right now I've been independent, and you know you look what you do independent. Like, well, I'm still. It sounds bad, but I'm not doing touring. I'm not really getting asked to play any of the festivals. I've got asked to play one time since the Intoxicated Love come out.
Right.
I got asked one time to play at a festival, and it was awesome here in local. But like, I haven't really been hit up. I don't really get hit up, honestly, by a lot of other artists either.
Right.
I don't know if it's just because I'm so different. I don't ever get hit up to like, hey man, you want to collab much? I don't get like. I'm not really. I guess you say I'm not really in a circle,
Yeah.
and I don't go
You're
out. I
on
don't
your own
drink.
thing.
I quit drinking beer. I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
I just choose my health and just. I'm a better musician, singer, and businessman if I'm not drunk.
Right, for sure.
So I don't go out. I don't socialize. I have a girlfriend I see, or I'm writing music, or I'm going to and I had to go back to a day job.
Yeah.
Since all this happened, I had an album come out. It's almost like reverse. Had an album drop. I'm not touring, and I had to go back to a day job, and I'm blessed to have a day job. I would love to do music full time, but as of right now, I'm actually working Monday through Thursday, man.
I think we're running out of time and battery and stuff. So
yeah,
it was good to talk,
absolutely,
man.
bro.
You got anything? Plug your social media. Tell them where to find you. And...
Hey, y'all, find me on the hot spot down here in Atlanta. Find me in the baby with a hole with a hammer. I don't know. I'm trying to rhyme, but listen,
your socials.
I ain't social, but find me on Facebook, on TikTok, and on the Instagram.
What's your handles?
My handles?
Yeah, what's your
They're
TikTok
right here.
handle?
I love handle.
Your TikTok.
TikTok is what does the handle mean?
That's your name.
It's just
Your
Dustin
Instagram name.
Spears. You can find me.
Yeah,
Just type in Dustin Spears, not Brittany. It's totally.
And you're
different person.
going to where this weekend?
We're going to South Georgia to Jessup, Georgia, and Statesboro Saturday night.
Right.
You'll find me down there in Georgia.
Statesboro Blues, brother.
It'll be fun.
All right, man. Well, it's good to talk to you, brother.
Good to talk to y'all.
Hell yeah.
Bye, Grandma.
Peace.